Give me money so I can buy Switch 2 games.
The Nintendo Switch 2, a video game console. I have already made this joke. This console has been interesting for me because it's the first time I got a console within its launch month, let alone its launch year. I got my original Switch on Christmas 2020, I got my Xbox One in 2017, and my One X last year, not the Series X, the One X. And they were both hand-me-downs from my godfather. I had an Xbox 360 as a hand-me-down from my older brother around 2015 or so. I've had my 3DS since, I want to say, 2018. Original model, by the way. This was off eBay. It felt really cool to have a console this early into its life. Like, I was really investing into it. Those reactions in my unboxing were genuine. So judging by said reactions, you would figure that I've invested a lot of money into exclusive games that we wouldn't be able to play on the last generation, right? Yeah, so far, this mostly boiled down to being a hardware upgrade for me. I use this console to get invested in whatever games I probably could have gotten into Switch and Mario Kart, but I haven't gotten to play any other modern experience. Looking at the direction of Pragmata, though, that game actually looks pretty interesting. Please fund my ventures. This video was originally going to be a rant about game keycards, but it eventually evolved into a general video about what I didn't like regarding the Switch 2 and how much Nintendo sucks. I've somewhat come around on game keycards. Still not a fan, but I think I get them. For those unaware, game keycards are like if physical Switch cartridges and digital Switch games had the second ugliest baby of all time. The first one is you. Game keycards require you to download data from the digital storefront onto your console, like a digital game, but at least with digital games, you don't need to insert anything into the console to play it afterwards. You do need to for game keycards. So if you don't have Wi-Fi, or worse, bad Wi-Fi, guess who's f***ed? I know this isn't a new concept with gaming. I've experienced this type of shenanigan before, but you can't see because I already sold my copy of Spyro Reignited. The one thing I can give to game keycards is that they can still function kinda like physical cartridges. If you want to exchange the game with your friend or sell it, the data isn't tied to the console or the first profile it gets connected to. It's basically just like a key to get the game. Wow. But if you're the only one of your family to have this thing, just buy the game digital. Unless you see a future where you resell the thing, you could save yourself a few seconds of convenience. Plus, digital games by themselves might load faster on Switch 2 since they don't have to read any data on the cartridge itself. I think the worst part about game keycards existing is that they wouldn't be as big of an issue if Nintendo just didn't want to be cheap at first. For physical Switch 2 games that aren't keycards or Switch 2 editions, the default game card that developers got was a 64GB cartridge, and for a while that was the only size available for them. So for larger games than that, I can understand the game keycard route, even though it would take up way more space on a Switch 2. The Switch 1 had a cartridge limit of 32GB. This is double that, but even in the modern era, there's some games are too large for that. Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. This is a 3GB game. The game keycard doesn't take up as much space, but there should have been a different card size, a smaller card size in the first place, so this wouldn't be an issue for this game, man. And any other smaller games like this, basically. This stings even more and less, and I don't even own this game. Nintendo began rolling out different card sizes, which hopefully means less expenses for companies, which hopefully means I can actually want to buy third-party games on physical, because I need my case to have purpose. And if you want a Switch 2 to give purpose to, you better get to buying, because Switch 2 is raising its price in September. It's not by much, it's by like $50, but still, man. I got Mario Kart for the same price. CEO Shintaro Furukawa had the courtesy of warning us months in advance, so thank you, good sir. The article sources market conditions, and I heard around that investors pressured Nintendo to raise the prices, which I could believe since rich people are stupid. If macroeconomic class taught me anything, it's that higher price means less demand, so even a $50 increase is enough to drive people away. Just a little bit. Once again, nothing new at all. Sony and Microsoft raised the prices on their consoles already. Speaking of prices, Mario Kart being $80 is one of the driving reasons why I opted for the bundle. Nintendo made the conscious decision with this console to be just weird with game pricing. Variable pricing.
Hey, Editor Man here. I got the definition of variable pricing decently alright, but I just wanted to clarify that for premium flagship titles, they're putting them at $80. That's why Mario Kart was like that.
Their newest policy is making physical and digital versions of games vary in price. Usually the physical version is $10 more. I understand the thought process, but I don't like it. These developers, and especially the first parties, don't have to share a cut with retailers when you buy a digital game. The money goes directly to them, basically. So it's probably why they're more likely to sell you on the digital game, but this takes away so much incentive to go and buy the physical game when you can save $10 just to play it digitally. And what will the retailers think? If you're poor and your hobby is video games, please find a new hobby. In essence, the Nintendo Switch 2 is a pretty good console. Performance-wise, I think it's on par with the Series S even. It just has problems, kinda like people. If you want to buy it, get your money up before September. If you don't see a future where you sell your games, just buy the game digitally. They've neutered physical games in a good amount of ways already. And if you don't care about the Switch 2, then what's it like living happy? I forgot how that feels.